Hello, welcome to class 158. I'm laughing, 158. ¿Será posible? We spend a lot of time together. I spend a lot of time with you, and you spend a lot of time with me. Spend a lot, spend a lot. Eso ya es presente, no es el pasado como aquí tenemos aquí. Spend a lot, 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 spend a lot. I spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of time, a lot of time. Se dice a lot of. I spend a lot of time with you and you spend a lot of time with me. So we spend a lot of time together. Yes. Are you sure it's healthy? ¿Es sano esto? Are you sure it's healthy for you and me to spend so much time together? You and me, we spend so much time together that maybe it's not healthy. I don't know. It's interesting, in Spanish, a lo mejor no es sano. Pero luego dices, tal vez no sea. Tal vez o quizá no sea. A lo mejor no es. Yeah, it's difficult in Spanish, the indicative and the subjunctive. Maybe it's not healthy. We spend a lot of time together. But it's necessary to spend a lot of time to gain agility and ability with the English language. All right, point. What am I doing? You're pointing at me. Yeah, I'm pointing at you. And now, what am I doing? You're pointing at the lights. Which hand am I pointing at the lights with? You're pointing at the lights with your left hand. And before, was I pointing at you with my left hand or with my right hand? Well, before you were pointing at me with your right hand. Yeah. And where am I pointing now? Well, you're still pointing at the lights. And I'm still pointing at the lights with my left hand, right? Yes. Okay, good. Now I'm not pointing anywhere. I'm not pointing at the lights anymore, and I'm not pointing at you anymore. And now, what am I doing? You're pointing at Marta. That's right. Yeah, I'm pointing at Marta. And now what am I doing? Now I'm pointing at the mirror, and I'm pointing at the mirror with my right hand. And now what am I doing? Now you're pointing at yourself. That's right. That's right. I'm pointing at myself with my left hand. Right. Okay. Now, hey, can you tell me everything that happened a few seconds ago? Easy. First, you pointed at the lights. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. First, you pointed at the lights with your left hand, I remember. No, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, first you pointed at me. That's right, I pointed at you. Yeah, but which hand did I point at you with? First, you pointed at me with your right hand. And then what? And then what did I do? Well, then you pointed at yourself with your left hand. That came much later. I remember. Then you pointed at the lights. Exactly. That's right. Which hand did I point at the lights with? You pointed at them with your left hand, right? That's right. Así es, en efecto. That's right. Yes. And then where did I point? Then you pointed at yourself. Is that right? No, I'm sorry. And then you pointed at the mirror. Sorry. I don't know. Marta. Yeah, okay, then you pointed at Marta. That's right. Very good. And which hand did I point at Marta with? You don't remember. Marta, which hand did I point at you with? Yeah. See, she knows. She remembers. I pointed at Marta with my right hand. I pointed at her with my right hand. And then, what did I do? And then you pointed at yourself. I don't remember myself. Either I pointed at the mirror or I pointed at myself. But I don't remember which first. Do you? First I pointed at the mirror, in your opinion, right? And then I pointed at myself. First I pointed at the mirror and then I pointed at myself. Are you sure? Marta, which? She says I pointed at myself first. And then I pointed at the mirror. I remember I pointed at myself with my left hand and I pointed at the mirror with my right hand, but I don't remember which came first. But it doesn't matter, does it? Da igual, no? It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to you? Is it important for you? I don't care. I don't care whether I pointed at myself first or at the mirror. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make any difference. It's not important. The important thing is pointed, the past tense of to point. Either I pointed at myself first or I pointed either or. O hice esto o hice aquello. Either or. Los británicos muchos dicen either or. Pero he oído either in Great Britain as well. Either I pointed at myself or I pointed at the mirror. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I pointed here or there. It really doesn't matter. Pointed, print. Oh, print es imprimir. Print también es escribir con letra de, no cursiva, letra de block letters. That's the print. Print your name. Print your name. So that means print your last name. Okay, Pérez, P-E-R-E-Z. Pérez. All right, print. But print. This book, this book was printed in 2020, this year. Pero no dice la fecha exacta. It doesn't say the exact date. This book was printed in Safekal. Okay, good. Now, it was printed for Von Systems Incorporación Radio y Televisión Española. Fine. And it was printed about 6 months ago, I think. This book was printed. An outside company printed the book. I created the book, and me and my colleagues, we designed the book, but an outside company printed the book. This particular book they printed about 6 or 7 months ago. Yes. And this is the same. This book they printed about the same time as this book. And this book, they printed this book at the same time as this. So the outside company printed the 3 books basically at the same time. Printed. Rent. You know, the last time I rented a house, alquilar un apartamento, un piso, una casa, the first time I rented an apartment in my life, me, not my parents, me. I was 19, and I rented a small apartment in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes. The next time I rented a house, I was 20. Yes. For about 4 months, I rented a house near the campus of the university in Dallas. And I rented that house together with another person before coming to Spain for the first time. And when I came to Spain, the first apartment I rented was on Rosales Street, Pintor Rosales in Madrid. Very nice, eh? Very cheap. It was 12,000 pesetas, 12,000 pesetas. Yes, that's about $30. 30, yeah, 30 euros. Very, very cheap. No, 120 euros, I think. Nope, I don't remember. It was 12,000 pesetas. And there were 4 students, myself and 3 other students. And we rented the apartment. We shared the apartment, compartir. We shared, como chair, pero con SH. Share. Chair, share. We shared the apartment. We rented the apartment. After that, I rented a small studio apartment on Princesa Street. And then I rented another apartment in an apart-hotel, also on Princesa Street. I rented The last time I rented a house or a flat or an apartment, I don't remember. I think it was maybe 40, oh my God, that was 43 years ago, 42 years ago. That was the last time I rented a flat. I bought a flat. After that, I bought a flat. And since then, I haven't rented. So the first time I rented an apartment or a flat was when I was 19. The last time I rented a place, se dice un place para un lugar de vivienda. The last time I rented a place was I was 26. The last time I rented. Okay, well, yeah, we're almost finished. You remember that God created the earth in 6 days, not in 7. Do you know why? Because he rested on the 7th day. How did he rest? I don't know. I wonder what he did on his day off. El día libre que tenía. Maybe he rested, I don't know, maybe on the beach, maybe in the mountains, maybe he went to a casino. I don't know what he did. But he rested. Yeah, he took it easy. He said, yeah, this job of creating worlds is not easy. But I mean, he created a lot. He created a lot in only 6 days, so he needed to rest. So imagine he rested. I wonder what he did the following day after resting. I guess he started watching. He was watching Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, I suppose. Rested, shouted. Manolo, tu paraguas. I'm shouting at Manolo. Well, not really. I'm shouting to Manolo. Escucha, esto es interesante. Shout is gritar. All right. To shout to es para que te oiga. To shout at is porque estás enfadado. For example, Manolo, your umbrella. Oh, I was shouting to Manolo because he forgot his umbrella. Now, if I'm angry, I said, you need to make a stronger effort. Come on, you're not making an effort. You want to learn English? Do you think it's a piece of cake? Do you think this is just pan comido? No, it's not. It's not a piece of cake. You have to make an effort. If you don't make an effort, I'm shouting at you. I'm shouting at you. I'm not shouting to you because I don't need to gain your attention because of your umbrella. I'm shouting at you. Now, do you remember the other day? I threw the pencil to you, remember? I said, here, I'm going to throw, catch the pencil. There. Now, in this case, I threw the pencil to you. Now, if I'm angry, I can shout at you. I can throw the pencil at you. That's to throw at. Con saña is to throw at. Con saña is to shout at. All right, not to throw to or to shout to. Okay. And this is to point at. I'm pointing at you. Es un poco violento, ¿no? Un poco agresivo. I'm pointing at you. Pointing to, I'm pointing at. Curioso. If I do this, para un nativo, si yo pregunto a un nativo, what am I doing? Con este tipo de agresividad. He'll say, you're pointing at the cup. Y si le digo, what am I doing? You're pointing to the cup, muchas veces. Pointing to. So it's interesting. At, in certain cases, is an aggressive preposition, but to normally isn't, or never, is an aggressive preposition. So I'm looking at. Es curioso porque look at. Look to no existe, pero no es mirar. Look to is confiar en alguien, o sea, mirar ese alguien para ganar su confianza o su apoyo. Yes. I look to Mother Nature to help me. I look to God. Some people look to God for help. Para amparo, buscar amparo. I look to. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. All right. So, here we have shout. Did I shout at you before? Yes. I shouted at you a few. How long ago? How long ago? Well, you shouted at me. I shouted at you about 3 minutes ago, right? Yeah. I shouted to Manolo about 5 minutes ago, but I shouted at you about 3 minutes ago. I pointed at the cup about 2 minutes ago, etc. Shouted. Don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. So, no me grites. No me levantes la voz. Huh? Don't raise your voice with me. Don't shout at me. I'm only the English teacher. You know, I'm only the piano player. Don't shoot me. Don't shout at me. Start. I started this class, what, 15 minutes ago, Marta? Yeah. I started this class. I started this class 15 minutes ago. And I will finish the class in 10 minutes. I haven't finished yet, but I started the class. I started the class. Yes, sir, started. Treat. Do I treat you well? Te trato bien. Did I treat you well yesterday? Yes, you treated me well yesterday. And today? Well, you treated me badly about 5 minutes ago. I treated you badly. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You shouted at me. And you pointed at me aggressively. I pointed at you? Aggressively? No, I didn't. Yes, you did. And you shouted at me. Did I shout at you? Yes, you shouted at me. Okay. So you treated me very badly. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to treat you badly. I apologize. I apologize. I didn't mean to. Es curioso forma de mean, lo veremos mucho más adelante. Mean significa significar. ¿Qué significa esta palabra? What does this word mean? Now, but to mean also es cuando haces algo sin querer, se dice I didn't mean. No quise hacerlo. O sea, I didn't mean. Se dice mean. Se usa mean, no want en este caso. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to shout at you. I didn't mean to point at you aggressively. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Do you accept my apology? Do you accept my apology? Yesterday, you accepted. I remember. I apologized yesterday, and you accepted my apology. And right now, I'm apologizing to you. Are you going to accept my apology? I hope so. I hope so. All right, treat, wait. Yes, I don't like to wait. Yes. I remember several times, I mean, here in Spain, punctuality is important, but less important than in my country. Punctuality. Punctuality. Yes, I'm hyper punctual. I always arrive 2 minutes early. Now, I remember on one occasion, once, I remember I waited, going to restaurants. You know, we make an appointment with a business lunch, comida de negocios, a business lunch. I remember once I waited 45 minutes. I waited 45 minutes. And at that time, we didn't have cell phones. So I asked the waiter for a newspaper. And he brought me a newspaper. And I waited for 45 minutes. I remember. And were you angry when they arrived? I was a bit irritated, but I didn't show my anger. I was irritated. But the newspaper was interesting. So I killed time. En inglés también matamos el tiempo, el pobre tiempo. En todos los idiomas se le mata. I killed time reading the newspaper. But I waited 45 minutes. I waited. And Richard, how long did you wait? Before this class, did you wait a long time to start? Not really. I came here, and Marta wasn't here. And I checked, and I called Marta, and she didn't answer. And so I waited for about 5 minutes, and then she showed up or turned up. Se apareció. She appeared, parece que es magia, to appear. Pum. To appear is the opposite of disappear. So she showed up, she turned up, and said, "Hi, Marta, where were you?" Con mis cositas. All right. Okay. And so I only waited for about 5 minutes. Were you angry? No, I wasn't. Did you get angry with Marta? Did you shout at Marta? No, I didn't shout at Marta, and I didn't get angry. But then I waited about 1 or 2 minutes because she prepared the makeup. Me pone la maquillaje. She puts on my makeup. And then I waited for about 5 minutes mientras que, I waited for about 5 minutes while she put on the makeup. And then everything was ready. And Marta says, "Hay un problema." I said, "What's the problem?" One of the lights was not working. And so I waited another 5 minutes for Marta to adjust that light. And then I was ready. She said, "Ponte derecho." She said, "Sit up straight." I said, "Espera, wait." She said, "Espérate." I said, "Wait." And I waited another 5 minutes because there was a problem with the camera. Yeah. And then everything was ready. Everything was ready. And then I started. And I said, "Hello and welcome to," and she said, "Wait." I said, "No he puesto el reloj, el cronómetro." She didn't put the stopwatch. So, yes, before this class, I waited probably, in all, maybe 25 minutes because of different little problems. All right, different little problems. Okay, wanted. Yes. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a baseball player. I remember when I was a little boy. All of my father's friends said, "Well, Ricky," they called me Ricky. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" What do you want to be? That's very common in the United States. Aquí no sé, no tanto. ¿Qué quieres ser cuando seas mayor? All right, se oye aquí. But ahí se oye a diario. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember the first thing I wanted to be was a baseball player. And then after that, I remember when I was 11 or 12 years old, I wanted to be a professional golfer, like Sergio Garcia, or like Tiger Woods. I wanted to be. And then, when I was 14 or 15, I wanted to be a dentist. I remember, because my first girlfriend's father was a dentist. And the first time she invited me to her house, I said, "Wow, this is a nice house. Wow. What does your father do?" "Oh, my father's a dentist." I said, "Wow, I want to be a dentist too." He had a very, very nice house. So then I wanted to be a dentist. But then I said, well, a dentist spends 6 hours a day looking in a person's mouth. Maybe not. So I decided that I didn't want to be a dentist. And then, by the time I was in the I wanted to be a rock star. Yes, it's true. I was a good guitarist. I had a group, the Auroras, Los Aurora, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We were pretty good, Not bad. And we made money playing. About $50 per gig, but it was money. That was in 1969. All right. So I wanted to be a rock star. And then, after that, I wanted to be a university professor. And so I wanted to be a lot of things. And finally, I ended up being an English teacher. I never wanted to be it never occurred to me to be an English teacher. I didn't want to be an English teacher when I was a boy. I didn't want to be an English teacher when I was a teenager. I didn't want to be an English teacher when I was in the university. But when I came to Spain, the second time, I needed, aquí, tercera, I needed to make money. I needed to make ends meet. I needed to get by, salir del paso. And so I started teaching English, and cadena perpetua, como he dicho antes. I'm still an English teacher. Yes, it's mi sino. It's my fate. Yes. So I didn't decide to become an English teacher. I became an English teacher by accident, basically. And so I wanted to do other things. I didn't want to become an English teacher, but I became an English teacher and a businessman and an entrepreneur and a television personality and a radio personality. Se presta bastante. Everything. So I wanted. And finally, wasted. To waste. Escrito waste. Waste is desperdiciar, despilfarrar. También significa residuos, wastes, etc. I promise that in the next class, I'm not going to waste any time. Pure productivity. See you tomorrow.